I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Pregaming here on Sports Money. Just got a message in as I'm popping the top on the shop. Let's go, you guys. Hope everyone's had a great day today. A little chilly up in the Northeast. Be safe down there in hurricane land. I saw a news commercial today, or a news announcement today. In case you didn't see it, the governor of North Carolina, well, let's just say this. He recommended you don't go swimming in the next couple of days, which I kind of found to be pretty fucking ridiculous. I don't know why you got to be told not to go swimming when there's a hurricane, but I'm going to pass the message along. Be safe, be careful, and don't go swimming. I guess somebody's got to be told that kind of stuff out there. But hey, we're looking to fire today. We got a huge card, some assessments, some observations, some ways that we want to get down. Thank you guys all that joined us last night for the Dana White Contender Series. I think we won every single one of them. Pretty sure. Oh, what's going on? Let's fix this. There we go. I think we're better now. I don't know. We'll see. But it was a fun Dana White Contender Series card. Short fights, five fights, some finishes, some good stuff. And away we go for the rest of this week, you guys. Failed to fix. That's going to be a fly a kite in North Carolina. Oldie says only go swimming with a surfboard. Yeah, it sounds like the riptides are a pretty big deal. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Kind of to me. I'm not a big ocean guy. I don't like swimming in the ocean. I don't like all that shit that's around there. You know what I mean? Jellyfish and sharks and whatever the fuck else is there. You know, I swim in the lake. Everything's afraid of me in the lake, not in the ocean. Everything wants to fucking get me. And I don't like that. It's not a process that I get too comfortable with. So anyhow, enough about me. Let's talk about us. And let's talk about the absolute fucking day that we dropped yesterday. It was an absolute hand cannon on top of the Dana White Contender Series shit. Now, the bad news. Let's start with the bad news. I believe that, I was just thinking about this thing that I learned one day when I was in the human resource world. People are so soft, you got to give them two good and one bad. And I like to start off firing with the bad. So if you're ever going to give anybody some constructive feedback, apparently the way to do it is you give them two things they did really well. Hold their hand like they're a little fucking baby. And then you zip them with something constructive that they need to work on. That's not how gambling works. We talk about this shit that didn't go right. Nobody congratulates you when you do well. Nobody gives you two goods and one bad. They give you all the bad and they forget about the good. But hey, 1 and 2 in the WNBA last night. We did cash the first half in the Connecticut Sun. I did mention the wrong team was favored, and that was the case. So the Connecticut Sun come through. They get that cash. A meltdown by the Seattle Storm at the end against the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese was not supposed to be playing in that game, but apparently she was. We lost that game. And then we lost the over in the Atlanta-Las Vegas game. 2-point spread. 2-point finish. Crazy in that game. So, outside of that, we won everything else. Literally. We started off that day with the first 5 under in the Houston spot there, under 3.5. We fired on Toronto. Did push the over 9 in the Mets and Washington game. So I guess we didn't truly win everything. We did crush all of our 2-leg parlays. We started off the morning with that one. We got the Yankees in the over. That was a plus 242 banger. No sweat bet. That thing fucking sailed over. We got the Oakland Athletics and the team total for Minnesota under 4.5. Cashed it. That was a plus 155er. Correlated, I guess, is why they kind of fucked us on the odds. The Arizona Diamondbacks, big money maker for me because they were up, they were down, they were up, they were down, they were up, they were down. The cap was the cap. I like the Diamondbacks. I kept firing. And the Padres go down 1-0, end up taking that first five minus a half. The run line on that first five ends up cashing for us at a 4-1 spot. So pretty fucking good. I don't know about you. It's pretty fucking good. I made some money. And then I gave some money back today because we started off 1-2. Toronto, a little mad at myself for that Toronto Blue Jays spot. Just a little mad. Just a little mad at myself. Specifically, someone's asking if I'm using my mic. Let's see.
Apparently it does what it wants to do. Is that better? Are we better? All right. I think we're better. I don't know why it changes. I don't know what happened. But Toronto -1, fucked. Phillies, fucked them. Great spot. By the way, there's some things to remember. Yeah, somehow it switched over to the camera on the mic. I didn't, or the mic on the camera. I didn't even know it had a mic on the camera. Anyways, keep this in mind for all those people that think teams don't get swept. Oh, they're not going to get swept. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. That's why you got the wrench, my dude. And look, you got a spot with this Phillies team today, and it happened to be game 3 of a series. Team had won 2. They get screwed. That team that's down, they get screwed. That was the spot to fade away on the whoever the Phillies play today. Brain damage here. And then lost that Houston spot. I don't know. Blows my fucking mind. Team gets shut out 4 times in 5 games. Shut out 4 times in 5. You know I have a hard time swallowing that. And that wasn't the only reason that the Houston Astros were the play. There was a litany of spots and why the Astros made sense in that game. Both fading Detroit, playing on Houston, and a loss. So that's the way it goes. You know, we fire off one day, we give a couple back. We're trying to get this tennis play so we can split the afternoon. That would be nice. I would be happy with that. If things go the way I expect, we're going to make a lot of money tonight. A lot of money tonight. I repeat, a lot of money tonight. If it goes the way I expect it. We're going to cover a bunch of games. Some of them pop off here very shortly. We got the St. Louis Cardinals. And, I don't know what's wrong with my head today. St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. The Mets and the Nationals will take an NL East battle. The Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays will fight for an AL East battle. The Texas Rangers will take on KV. It's not KV, it's KC. I did adjust it after a couple of slides. The Brewers and the Cubs will fight on. Sneak peek. Brewers lose today. You know, we talked a little bit about this last night live. And, you know, I'll tell you guys a couple secrets here. Never seen a leprechaun with a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Fairly confident Santa Claus isn't real. And I'm pretty sure the Tooth Fairy doesn't exist either. So all these fun little stories about the Brewers, and we talked about it already. The time to get off the Brewers train is now. Yeah. To said gentleman that challenged me a couple days ago about my fading the Brewers all the time. Well, I did message him several times. And he got back to me. And he said, you're right. They did lose. That was it. There wasn't anything else. There wasn't any conceding the accuracy of the assessment. But it was factually driven. And the reality is that's a team that's had 250 batters. Lots of 250 batters. Smacking around 400. Sorry, Redbeard. Just tell him I'm drunk. Just tell him I don't know what I'm talking about. The LA Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies, going to be a fun game to talk about here. San Francisco and San Diego will round us up in Major League Baseball. I could make 6 more plays. I'll tell you what, some of those plays that I may have made. And then we're going to give you one WNBA play. There's one WNBA game, so we've got one play in the WNBA. San Francisco Niners says Guardians are dog shit. Yeah. This is not a Guardians year. That is for sure. Now, well, the kill. You're right, dude. You're right. I keep score. I forgive, but I never forget. And I believe in revenge. So you're right, Phil the kill. Hey, listen, it goes both ways. You know what? I'll take it, but I'm sure as fuck gonna give it to. You know what I mean? You want to challenge me and tell me that a play is bad? That's fine. But when it wins, I expect you to be accountable. That's all. That's all. Now, anyways, it's all fun. I know it's all fun. So it's all in jest. We're all friends here. So it's all good stuff. But I've got a fun card tonight. I really got excited when I was looking. I'm gonna tell you this. There's plus money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. 6 spots. And I'll share with you at least 12 ways to play it to continue to get paid. I love this card tonight. So I don't know if I'm just overexcited about it. I'm definitely excited about it. I definitely got my bets placed and I'm definitely ready to fire. Sounds like an Aquarius to me, says Rose Miller. Not me. Not I. But I am ready to fire away and give you guys some great stuff. So we got 15 days till the NFL season, 3 days until college football. If you haven't gone out there and checked out the video, you want to do it. You don't want to miss it. I put 3 plays out there on the very first game in college football. Now 2 officials and 1 lean. But we are not those believers in telling everyone we're excited for the season to start. And then when the season starts, we say, it's going to take us 2 or 3 weeks to get going on the season. No, you stop following those people. You do that. You tell them. Mikey Money said, stop following you. Because it's bullshit. It's just fucking, it's talk. Talk. Chirp. Shut your fucking mouth and make some fucking picks. That's what we're here to do today. Although I can't shut my mouth and make the picks at the same time. So you're going to have to work with me here tonight. But I'm excited, you guys. I told you this already. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. This is the time of the show to show some support. Lots of ways to support us here. Lots of things happening in the world of sports money. Some things behind the scenes that maybe some of you guys have been privy to. Maybe some of you haven't been. We've talked about some of it on air. And we got some new shows coming up. We got some new programming coming up. And just trying to find a way to make more money. Cash more winning bets. Bring knowledgeable people in their fields and fire away. I handicap everything. I handicap the fucking time it takes to kid across the street to get hit with the softball his brother's throwing at him. But it's always nice to have specialists that focus in different niches, if you will. And we got some fun things coming. So get yourselves ready. But listen, we need your help. And you do that by smashing the thumbs up button. The most important thing on all the content that's out there is that like button. Leaving a comment telling us what you like, what you didn't like. If you're on a play, just a smiley face. Anything helps us as well in driving the algorithm here at YouTube. But the thumbs up button, the most important thing you can do. If you haven't done so now, give it a smack. As a reminder, UFC Shanghai live show Saturday morning. First fight starts at 3:45 a.m. Zhu versus you. Zhao versus you. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Figure it out by fight night. And we're going to be live. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be tough, but we're going to be live for it. Because we make too much damn money on the UFC not to be betting the UFC. And to get you guys ready for the UFC, the VB MMA Pick Show is out there. I addressed this the other day. There are some websites where these MMA cappers congregate. Believe there's about 1,000 cappers. Stack ranked. VB MMA Picks is number 2 from across the world. and he does his show with Ramon Scott. It's right here on Sports Money for you guys to check out. So that content's ready for you. There's 3 fight breakdowns there. We're going to give you 3 fight breakdowns tonight with First Strike. That'll be out there around 10 p.m. Probably try to squeeze in. I've got one more college video I want to do too. So we'll see. We'll see. But you got to watch the videos. Got to watch the videos. No views, no videos. Just put them over on Winnable or whatever else. So take some time if you haven't done so. Make sure you click those thumbs up. Give some support to the videos themselves. I was trying to find the site. Fuck it. Doesn't really matter. We're all friends here. I would never lie to you guys. You're going to take my word for it. That our guy VB MMA Picks is a fucking rock star in the world of MMA. So very fortunate to have him involved in what we're doing. Get your plays in the chat. Let's go. This is the time. The pen and paper out, you guys. The best damn chat in the business assembles here. They're ready to give their best bets. They're firing off already. Gorky's the first guy in the hopper. He was here fucking early. He had some early action. Yikes. There's our guy. Early morning action from Gorky. The Futon Bets. Nicholas Kurtz for a home run with those Oakland Athletics. Shout out to Kenny Wood. Yes, Ken and I did message. We did talk a little bit about this Royals game. Oldies rocking with us here. Stop Geo says, good luck tonight, mofos. There's Nicholas Handy, David Wallace, Irish King, Phil the Kill. Need Mikey Money to start so I can confirm my leans and fire away. Irish King, big bags last night, my boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're grinders. Some days we'll be up a unit. Hopefully we're not down a unit. Then we'll have days like yesterday where we fired for about 7 units. Good stuff. Stop Geo Engineering says, locked in on Landon Roop. 4+ Ks. Cashed in 3 straight. There you go. There's some prop action from our guy Stop Geo Engineering. Jay Maines here. There's Ramon Scott. It's that Sports Money team. Ramon Scott's running so hot. Stop Geo says, dirty water. They'll fit. Can you fly kite in Kansas City? Robert McCormick. 9 Legacies checking in. Let's get that paid in full parlay. He wants it. Redbeard says, soft Mikey in the ocean is good for the soul. Shout out to Joe W. Phil the Kill says, should have been more patient with the Seattle Phil's first 5 over. It hit within 2 outs of the next inning. Oh, no, you didn't cash out, did you? Oh, no. Peter Gracia says, sup, Mikey? Let's cash. Driving again. Drive safely, my friend. He's giving you the Yankees an over. Nice. Oh, nice parlay. Nice parlay. That's what he's saying. Gotcha. Nasty Nate's getting me straightened out. Robert McCormick. Nicholas Handy says Diamondbacks win. Yep, they sure did. Ron Young. What up, Ron Young? Good to see you. Appreciate everybody, man. Let's get her going here, huh? Oldie says Houston killed me. I got over. Yeah. Me too, bud. We'll get it back tonight. There's Nut Flush Allen. San Francisco team total under yesterday was the winner. There's Redbeard. He's calling me out. SF Diner says fucking Guardians are dog shit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see what else I got to catch up on here. There's Jay Peasy. What up, Jay Peasy? Son of a guy. Good to see you, my dude. Tarek B says, what up, Mikey? Went 5-0 in the DWC. Yes, sir. Need money back from Toronto and the shitty-ass Guardians. I would fill the kill. I put odds out there. Shout out to Axel G. Tech B says, you guys didn't stream last night. Couldn't find you. What do you mean we didn't stream? Fuck yeah, we streamed. We streamed for like 4 hours. Really? Did they block us? Did they shadow ban us? I'm not sure. Dale Fix says 12:45 a.m. UFC fight for me. Oof, that just sounds awful, doesn't it? Kevin Mizrahi says ride the Bronx Bombers boys. Nasty Nate says Patriots smash tomorrow. Silent Rob says Brian Battle out. Cut. You're gonna have to get some glasses, I think, here. Sports betting groovy alien. Yankees and Mets. San Francisco Niners says Yankees, Mets, Sparks, moneyline parlay. Okay. All right. We're at that time of the year. Friendly reminder for all. We have to look at 2 things. 1, pitch counts. Are these pitchers close to their career highs? getting close. Some guys are getting real close, real close. It's a big thing. You have to think about that as the arm and the fatigue factor in, and how deep these pitchers will go this time of year. The other thing we have to start thinking about, who's trying to play spoiler? Who's pretty much done and trying to finish off the other teams that are going to try to prevent them from making moves? How do, as we talked about in the example with the Brewers, the mechanics, the teams themselves, the players, how are their performances in relation to the back of their baseball card? In other words, if you're a 250 batter and you're hitting 400 and you've been doing it for 2 weeks, you didn't just magically become a 400 batter. Sorry. Now you might be roiding, you might be juicing, but you didn't just become I don't want to tell you. I don't want to be the one to have to tell you. You're going to regress. And that's the way we have to approach the card as we look here for the rest of this season, because we're down to just 3 weeks or so of baseball left to make that cash, to get that cash. And then we go into the playoffs, of course, and we will continue to get that cash. But that's when shit moves fast, man. So think about that as we approach these games, and especially trying to look at that. Just try to peek through that lens as we talk about a couple of these spots before you pull out the old tar and feathers on some of these plays I'm going to drop here tonight. But St. Louis and Miami, I'll tell you this. I like the first 5 under 4.5. I know you're looking at it and you're going to say, well, Miami's home team overs have been cruising again. That's why it's going to go under. Sorry. By the time it's out there on the street, it's too late, right? That's like when we talked about it was the Los Angeles Angels that we talked about back in the start of the baseball season. Nobody was talking about that. Well, after they ripped off like 10 straight wins, everyone was on the Angels. Well, then the streak ended. So in any event, the St. Louis Cardinals open up as plus 108 dogs. They're now minus 104. 51% of the bets and 56% of the cash are on these cards. The reason I like this first 5, as a matter of fact, I'm giving this as an official play as well. The first 5 under 4.5. Not double dipping like the difference where we talked the other day about playing a team, playing both sides, playing the first 5 in the full game is different. This one's different in the fact that, first and foremost, the pitching opportunity. These teams played recently, or I should say when these pitchers met recently. We saw 2 things. One, Sandy Alcantara mowed everybody down. 5 scoreless innings. Ugh. I hate that. I hate when I do that. It's a little thing too, but perfectionist as I try to be. And then you've got Andre Pallante. And if you look at Pallante and his numbers, like on the surface, you first look at this and this is where they got you. This is the trap. We can't get into this habit of looking at these 2 pitchers and seeing, well, they've got egregious ERAs. And then peel the onion back and look at the team a little bit more and say, boy, the Marlins have been crushing their overs. I get it. Way to read stats. But the critical thinking component is how do you apply those stats and then leverage them into useful information? If you look and you dig deeper, look at the last start for Sandy Alcantara. In fact, Sandy's been on fire since the start of August. And he's been going 7 innings. He got a 7, he got a 5, he got a 7, he got a 5, he got a 6. He's reliable. Only 1 game did he puke up runs, and that was on the road against Atlanta. Flip side, Pallante. You look at Pallante's numbers and you say, well, Pallante's a piece of shit. Sports a 4.73 ERA. He just gave up 4 runs. True. Look at the strength of opponent. Just played the Yankees. Had the Cubs. Well, those are 2 of my top 5 offenses in baseball, right? We just talked about those. Played the Padres. Everyone likes the Padres to win the NL now over the Philadelphia Phillies. 3 straight in that spot. However, before Murderer's Row of top 5 baseball offenses, there's the Marlins. Holy shit. 4 games ago. 7 innings pitched, only gave up 1 hit. I love the first 5 under. Not only that, but I like the St. Louis side of things in this equation as well. We got some intersecting zeros on the St. Louis side of the house. A lot of it comes down to Sandy in the favorite role. And this goes back to what we talked about with the Marlins. Don't want the Marlins in the favorite price tag. We want them in a dog spot. Sandy's 0-11. He's a favorite up to minus 140 against a mediocre team. But they're losing by 4.5 runs a game in those Sandy starts. That means Sandy's down when he's coming out of there. Most likely Sandy's down. Just because the mediocre team's less than 9 hits a game. So you got to stretch that out over 9 innings, right? Probably not going to be up 4-0 and then fucking smashing cash, right? And then it blew it at the end. It's more of a Sandy just shit the bed spot. And Miami shits the bed after giving up 4 or more hits and the bullpen leaking runs. Makes sense. You're getting dudes on base and your bullpen shit the bed. They're 0-13 in those home games, and they're losing those games by 5 runs a spot. The intersecting zeros are 13-0 St. Louis Cardinals, non-divisional spots after 4 or more runs, no homers, and less than 2 extra base hits. In other words, they're not an egregious favorite, and their offense kind of limped through that previous game. It's exactly what happened yesterday. That being said, this is a St. Louis Cardinals spot. I like the Cards. I'm going to take that first 5 under 4.5 as well. I think this is a good opportunity for these boys to get right. I told you, see a lot of plus number price tags on the card. Now, if you want to parlay those two together, support that too. Tech B says, I like Alcantara in the first 5. We'll jump on the Cards live. That's a good strategy. Hey, man, we crushed that Oakland live last night. That was a live play given out. We gave out on the show. Went back and doubled down on them, plus 202. What was it, like 2 minutes later? They scored like 3 runs. It was great. Nasty A says first 3 under 2.5. Yeah. Phil the Kill says MLB playoffs are like a whole nother game. Can't wait. It is really a whole nother game, huh? All right. Let's roll on to game number 2. Yeah. You can see a lot of them when this thing, that's plus money. That's plus money, baby. Plus money, Mikey money. Here to crush this card with you guys tonight because I think this is a spot where the Mets are just overjuiced. The Mets are toast. And Kodai Sang is the leader of the toast squad. He's the guy pushing a little button on the side of the toaster to push it down so that it gets extra crispy. Right now is Kodai Senga. Brad Lord on the other side, 3.26 ERA, and peel it back. Kodai Senga. 2.19 road ERA. Well, that's pretty awesome. Sure. Except you look at the fact that he hasn't gone past 5 innings in his last 5 games. He had a 3-inning game. He had a 5-inning game. He had a 4-inning game. He had a 4.1 inning game. I guess he did have a 5.2 in his last one, but he's given up 7, 11, 12, 14 runs, not just the runs, but no commander control. His last game against Atlanta, 7 strikeouts. Prior to that, a 2, a 4, a 3, and a 5. And then you look at his home runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home runs in his last 5 starts. The leader of we're done. And now let's put that lens on that I mentioned to everybody. Are the Nationals making the playoffs? No. No. Not unless, like, something happens and 3/4 of the country implodes and they're the only team left standing. I mean, I guess they have a chance, I guess. They're not winning with Kodai Senga for starters on the Mets side of things here. But it's that shit team against the divisional opponent factor that we love to take into account. This time of the year, the spoiler is real. Sub 500 teams against divisional opponents are 107 and 60 in pretty significant sample recent form. You got this line coming down. Everybody likes the Mets. Listen, I told you at trade deadline, not to bag on them, not to turn off my friends that are not going to want to listen to us because they love their Mets. But if 90% of the bets and 91% of the cash are on the Mets, 93% of the bets, 91% of the cash on the over, 90%, 91% on the Mets, why is the line coming down? If it's such free money, why are they making it even more attractive to bet the Mets? Then on the other side of things, yeah, you got Lord. Well, guess what? Not for nothing, but Brad Lord's 4-1 in his last 5 starts. That's our live dog. Live dog. I also think the under's in play. Sharp respective betting action came in earlier today, despite the fact that the last 2 games have seen runs. I'm asking the Sharps, Ramon. I'm asking the Sharps. At the trade deadline, the Sharp respected betting came in, and it was the Padres favored over all the other teams to win the National League. That's where it came from. So that being said, Philly Kill likes my cross. So that's the way we're going to go. I like some plus money. We're going to take a taste on this one. And I'd parlay the under in this one if you wanted to. I like a lot of unders today, by the way. We got a battle here. We got a playoff battle right here. Makes me laugh when I think about the action because I think it's pretty fucking awesome. Sharp respective betting report came through and it talked about the Tampa Bay under 8.5. Under 8.5. But yesterday's game went way over. I know. So if they saw that, and we know the Yankees have familiarity with Steinbrenner Field, does somebody know something? Well, that something might have a lot to do with the pitching matchup. So you look at this lineup and this assortment. By the way, sharp respective betting also involved at a game I'm not touching. The under in the White Sox and Atlanta Braves. Minus 120, B minus 112s on the Tampa Bay Rays side of things. So this team opened up as a cheeky little favorite. The total at 8.5 with 93% of the bets and 89% of the cash has not moved. It's 8.5. There it is. Plus money. Yeah, this is my money. My money's really on these spots, you guys. And for the reasons that I think are aforementioned and will continue to mention, Schlittler pops off for the New York Yankees with a 3.94 ERA. Now, full disclosure, I also bet the under 8.5, minus 105. We got a monster trend in play for this Tampa Bay. This trend has won 18 straight times for Tampa Bay. And it's the somebody knows something trend. And it's cashed 18 straight times. Rasmussen's the guy on the other side with a 2.6 ERA. Catching wins for that young feller. 10-5. Be them Tampa Bay Rays. You know, I think it's a reflection when they're winning. It doesn't really matter when they're losing. If they have Schlittler's got a 1-2 record. He's only playing 5 innings anyways. It's not his fault the team shit the bed or blew his lead. But when they're winning, that means that this guy either went deep and shut everybody down or gave the run support from the team to help him get ahead when he came out. 10-5 does matter to me when it comes to winning. Dismiss your losing. Acknowledge you're winning. The only concern, and the reason that I started the day with the Tampa Bay side, or with the under 8.5, and then I eventually added the parlay with Tampa and the 9. Somehow, despite the AL playoff race, somehow the Yankees are still up. And everybody's been talking about them missing the playoffs. For beginning of the season. Sharp respected bettors. Team to miss the playoffs, the New York Yankees. Now everyone's talking about it. We've been talking about it since fucking April. But that being said, my apprehension and concern at first take was they have a game lead on. And here's the thing. Somehow, Seattle fucked it all up. Seattle just got swept. That team's going to be in trouble when it comes to trying to make that playoff race. Every game's really important for Seattle. And the Astros, they haven't scored a run. Well, they scored runs today, but they had something like 28 scoreless innings or some shit like that. So Tampa in the under 9 became the play for me. I'll tell you, this 18 trend had a lot to do with it. Now they're sharp respected betting on that under. As I mentioned, divisional home team lost as a dog, now a favorite. AKA somebody knows something has won 18 straight times. 163-88 is the record. There's a 2-1. There's a 65, 66% little edge that we try to look for to make that money. Whoops, I forgot to advance the slide. Brian Palmer, Yankees is a dog, no good. Yankees is a dog, 3-10. 4-6 on the run line. Yankees 9-13 as a dog. That's somebody knows something. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how these games work out. My opinion, not financial advice, just the plays that I'm making. As aforementioned by Kenny Wood in the chat, yeah, I'm on Kansas City. Batting inefficiency for Texas Rangers. Away from home. This line opened up as a slight dog on the Kansas City side of things. It went 40 cents in the Kansas City Royals direction. 83% of the bets, 85% of the cash on the Kansas City Royals. Yeah. 7.5s have moved to 8.5s. No. If you were looking to parlay in this game, I'd have to give you Kansas City in the under 8.5 or 9. That would have to be my recommendation. I told you I love Noah Cameron, and I've been pretty vocal about that from the start of the season. He kind of started off like shit. Not really like shit. I just maybe overhyped, and the team wasn't performing. But look, he's got a 2.47 ERA. Bouchley, I don't know, Lee, for the Texas Rangers, got a 4.91 ERA. Problem is, it was Kumar Rocker that was supposed to start. And now this guy's coming in. And he's only an opener, from my understanding. Jacob Latz was recalled, and that's where I believe the line movement came into play. So that's why we saw such an egregious line move. And I think that's why Kansas City's got to be the spot here. You fade the Rangers as a dog against a lefty. Not only are the bats cold, but you're 28-9 if you fade them in that spot. You're 9-1 in your last 10. Got to take a shot with it. I think Noah Cameron's a fine young feller as well. He can go out there and toss some Ks. I like the under because of that aforementioned situation with the inability of the Texas Rangers team to connect ball to bat. I think Kansas City in the under 9's a fine way to look. Jeff Matthews says the Giants are getting steamed. That's probably me, Jeff. Some other thoughts here along the spectrum, along the scale. We have to look at some of those teams that have underperformed. I talked about this the other day. I know we laugh a little bit about it, right? But the Sox, are the Sox going to smash? Sox have been underperforming. Now, the problem the Sox have in this game, or yesterday's game, was Boston, Baltimore. Remember we talked about those teams like the Nationals, shitbag squads that are eliminated, and now they get to play spoiler. It's Baltimore. Now, Baltimore underperformed all year, but Baltimore overperformed in all fairness the year before that. And who do the Red Sox have up next? The Yankees. So get ready. We'll put this theory to test and see. I mean, look, the Yankees were minus 138 favorites. They're now minus 120. They haven't even played this game today, and they're dropping like a fly. Because the sharp, respected bettors expect the Yankees to get eliminated. They thought the Red Sox would win the AL East. Some of those pieces have to get connected as you start looking at the cap over the next 2-3 weeks. And I'll stand on it. I think that's a very important note to have out there. I like the Red Sox. Probably play I don't know. I don't want to be as bold as to say I'll play the Red Sox every single game in the series, but I might. That might be a series that I jump in and take the Red Sox as well. Were you surprised? Are you surprised that I'm on the Cubs? Really? Phil Appreciate that, Phil. Scunplaster, the scuntbag play of the day, likes the Athletics. Get on their scores. What's that? Get on in their scores. Cubs at under 8. This 7 has moved to some 6.5, some cheeky little 6.5s. 88% of the bets, 87% of the cash are on the over. It's dropped. It's wind. It's the conditions. It's the factors. We know why. We know what's going on out there in Chicago. And to couple that together, my expectation is that these Brewers bats do cool down. So I love the under. 32% of the bets, but 67% of the cash bet the Chicago Cubbies. They know. Colin Ray's pitching. Yeah, Mizorowski, I get it. 3.89 ERA. A lot of love for that young guy. This is one of those pitchers where you have to look at how many pitches have they managed versus their career. Is the season getting long? Now, they do win with Mizorowski. He did kind of start in there a little bit late. 8 games played on the season, so he's really gone, 35 innings or something like that. They're not expecting him to go much deeper. And I don't think he goes very deep this game. Well, he might go deep, but look, he's been getting fucking crushed like a tomato can. 6 innings pitched against the Dodgers. 1 inning for the All-Star game, of course. Couldn't believe he got there. Comes out, he goes 3.2 for Seattle. 4 against the Cubs the last time he played. Gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. And he went 1.1 innings his last start at Cincinnati. Gave up 5 earned runs, 4 hits. Couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. So I'm going to take the Cubs. I'm going to take the Cubs. I'm going to take the under. And yeah, like I said, this is that spot where I just broke it down yesterday. I broke it down the day before. I broke it down last Friday. And I'll stand on it. And look, since Monday, when I proclaimed it's time to start fading the Brewers, they're 0-2. So let's just keep that in mind. Should they come back and fire on this series? I mean, you could argue, sure. But do you want to fade Colin Ray? I don't. He's got a 4.13 ERA. 6 innings and 5 innings his last 2 games. He's got a little revenge on his mind. The last time he played the Brewers, he got touched up. That was at Milwaukee. 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 earned runs. Yikes. So I'll take the Cubs. I'll parlay it with the under 8 because it's plus 205. If I'm going to fade the Brewers, this was my theory or thought. First of all, I love the under. I like the first 5 under too, but I'm not going to get too cute because we got a lot of these plus money spots tied up. But the thought process I had there was, let's take a look at how can we, if we're going to fade the Brewers and we're going to take on the Cubs, then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're getting the most bang for our buck. Now it is plus money, so I respect that. Just want to take the Cubs, but it's probably going to be a lower scoring game if it is an under. So I like the Cubs in this spot. I think this is the play. I think the Cubs in the under is the play. Like I said, if this goes the way it should, we're going to make a lot of money tonight because the Sharp Respected betting report came through and they are firing the number 1 money line spot they took today, the Colorado Rockies. Now, this is mid-series. This is game 3 of a 4-gamer. So they still have 1 more spot. They're not getting out of town just yet. It is Ohtani. He will be starting. They're not expecting him to go. I think the last time I heard, he wasn't a 5-inning guy, right? He was, what's the right word to use? A decoy? Is that probably the right word to use? Sounds like a real piece of shit. His agent, or what was his interpreter, takes the rap for his gambling issues, allegedly. His interpreter did take the heat. Now he's been part of some shit going on in a Hawaii land development deal. I don't know. Sounds like a real fucking corner cutter. That being said, it's Gordon on the other side of things. Tanner Gordon pops off 5.54 ERA. The only reason I'll discount that is because he pitches at Coors. So, It's not the easiest in the world, and he gives up a lot of runs. There's not a lot of sexy about this play other than the fact that I like the money line too. I did sprinkle on this money line. I thought, I just thought with the sharp perspective betting action coming through here with a +1.5, like realistically, I was waffling between do I share the money line or the 1.5 with you guys? I sprinkled the money line. I did. It was like +3. I got to go back and look and see what it was. Divisional dogs are 29-9 in the last 38 spots. And the Dodgers, in all fairness, have not been shaking fear into anybody. They are mediocre at best. Now, this is one of those teams that, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this team. How are they who they are? They're first in the NL West. They're going to make the playoffs. Does it matter that they bust up on the Rockies in this game? I mean, they lost the first game, so they were pissed. They came back and won yesterday. So they're split in the series. They swept the Padres before that. So they're not going anywhere either. So the reality is I think they try to stay healthy with this game. I don't think they put their foot on the pedal. Sure, Ohtani probably goes yard again, but the inconsistency up and down the batting rotation is the spot that concerned me. And again, divisional dogs. Why is that a relevant one? That means you've seen the team quite a bit. You've got a lot of familiarity against the squad, and they're able to go out there and establish command and control. So, but I was pointing out why they either win the game outright, in my feeling, or they get blown away. Right? Is it going to be a 1-run game? I highly doubt it, but it's still almost 2-1 with that run line. So I don't want a +1. I don't want to push. If they do lose by 1, I want to win. and if this is going to be the game, or if there is a game where you have the opportunity here, neither side's got any success, any visibility against the other team's pitcher. So none of the Rockies have seen Ohtani. None of the Dodgers have seen Tanner. One Dodger has seen Tanner Gordon. It was Michael Conforto. He saw him 3 times. He didn't get any hits. So we got a fresh slate. Some might say the first 5 makes a lot of sense, but I think what happens is once Ohtani comes out and the bullpen has to get utilized, there's going to be some fuckery going on out there, and it's an opportunity to get paid. So yeah, I'm taking it. I'm firing on it. Ace says, yeah, I just saw you on that pod and recognized your names. Just saying, hey, that's all. Oh, hey. Brian Palmer says Rockies get smashed today. Not going to lie. Dodgers -3.5 gets the juice down. Yeah. Dodgers. Yeah. They're either going to win big or they're going to probably lose outright. But I'll be back tomorrow to talk about regardless. Do I have, it was one of those plays where I was like, I'm playing it. I'm sharing it. And it was top of the list for the Sharp Perspective betting report. So got to give a little acknowledgement there. The divisional dog situation. Hopefully they can keep it tight. Going to wrap up Major League Baseball with our guy Nutflush Allen's squad versus our guy Ramon Scott's squad. The Giants, the Padres, the battle. Split series right now. Can't trust JP Sears. Let me start my analysis by sharing. They're in an 0-9 spot. I think it is with JP Sears. He's a scrub. That's where I think that the Phillies position to capitalize in the playoff push makes them the front runner. I mean, look, you brought on a guy like JP Sears. This is kind of like what the Mets did with the desperation moves to check some arbitrary box. Right now, the JP Sears teams, he's got himself in an 0-8 position. If he allowed 5 earned runs or more, he doesn't rebound. Just doesn't recover. He's like a fucking rubber band and the elasticity's all gone. Just stretched. I like the first 5. I thought about that. I thought it's probably a 4-3 game, just like we've seen the rest of them kind of roll out there. Oh, by the way, I talked about the divisional dog spot. Shame on me for not talking about the Ohtani spot. 0-7 as a road favorite of minus 190 or higher. Ohtani. So do with that information what you will with them Colorado Rockies. But that being said, again, you got the situation with JP Sears and this 0-9 situation. We're got a great looking card. Did I leave one out? No. Hard to believe. I'm looking up and down. It's hard to believe with all this sly, slick action we've got out there that I didn't leave one out. But as far as the splits here, by the way, 96% of the bets, 97% of the cash fired on the Dodgers. The planet's on the Dodgers tonight. 3.5. I get it. 76% of the bets, 78% of the cash are on the San Diego Padres. The lines come down 10 cents from 142 to 132. 142, now minus 132. Total of 8 has not moved. 88% of the bets, 88% of the cash. JP Sears, 0-8 position. There's rope. And our guy came out early on the show to give us the over 4.5 Ks, I believe was the number. Giants closing out series tend to go over. That's a little aspect that pushed me in that direction. Keep in mind, I've talked about this before. When I look at some of these trends, you might say, well, okay, if the total's between 8 and 9, they're 28-7 to closing series on the over. Sure. But if they're a part of that many overs, they're probably trying to find a way to score some runs in those spots. So it kind of pushes me in that direction a little bit more when it comes to, how do you interpret? How do you internalize that information and try to come up with the number on the other side of it? That's the way I looked at it. I thought it made a lot of sense to get involved here from the San Francisco side of things. Yeah, I like the Padres. I just don't like that JP Sears position. Does it keep me on the first 5 versus the full game? Maybe it should. If you look at the first 5, I don't know. I don't want to. Do I double dip it? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. No, I'm just going to let the full game run its course. And just here's what it comes down to. With these unders in these 4-3 games, it doesn't take a ton of offense to go out there and pick the dub, right? So at plus 135, we're going to take the San Francisco Giants to close the series out. Fade away on JP Sears. Let's roll on. Last game on the docket is a WNBA game. Hey, there's our guy Nutflush. If you want to play the Giants versus Sears, the team total over 3.5 minus 120 and split bet team total over. That's not a bad way to approach it, my dude. You know what? I may do that. I'm going to write that down. I already took the 135, but I like that little. This will be like we talked about last night when I added the Cincinnati Reds and they absolutely smashed. Well, it's because we were kicking ass we swept the fucking card here yesterday. So, yeah, when they came off those funds, there was more funds to toss back down on those later spots. And that's why it became an even bigger day. So even the look ahead shit cash, that was just on fire. I love it. Thanks, Nutflush. Appreciate you, my dude. Phil the Kill says, Miami college football will shock you. I'm going to tell you this. Florida. Them boys releasing TikTok dancing videos on the field in their uniforms. That ain't going to do it. That won't do it for me. So they got the edge over Florida. But they won't potentially see them unless there was a playoff, right? So Miami college football, huh? I like the U. Remember that 30 for 30? It's good shit, man. The U versus the Spear. I like when they play Florida State. The Seminole comes out there and chucks the fucking spear into the center of the field. It's badass, dude. Get you fired up. It's not quite Enter Sandman in Blacksburg, but still pretty fucking good. Still pretty good. All right, you guys, make sure you do check out the college football breakdown. It's like 3 minutes long. Try to give you good information and good trends, but not drag on for 5-6 minutes or spout off and look like an asshole. So maybe I did look like an asshole. I don't know. WNBA, the Dallas Wings are now an 8.5 point dog. They're playing the LA Sparks. These two teams just saw each other. Yes, Dallas are bad. Yes, the Sparks are mediocre. Yes, the Sparks went on that run where they just kept going over and over and over and over. Matter of fact, they've got 4 straight overs. They just played Dallas 2 games ago. Damn near scored 200 points, 178.5. Then you look on the other side, and 3 of the last 4 games for the Dallas Wings have gone over. So I'm taking the under. And here's why. Because they just played each other, they've got that familiarity when it comes down to who the competition is and what they're going to do. Yeah, the defense isn't really any special for either side of these teams, but the Sparks, recent performance against Washington, now coming back home after 2 road games out there. I know they like to go over at home. I just see the books have corrected the initial number. It was 178.5. Excuse me. Get a little yawn in there. It's now 5. It's 5 points up from where it was the previous time. And I get it. 97-96 final makes a lot of sense. Why they would be looking at throwing a big number on. That's a huge fucking number. 183.5. That'll be the highest line Sparks game in their last, 8? And probably one of the highest line Wings games for the year. I just think they've overcompensated for what happened that last performance. It's like a knee-jerk reaction to saying these two teams are going to go out there and score 200 again. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will, and I'll look like an idiot. But that's the way I want to put the bow on the show. I do appreciate everybody rocking and rolling with us. Thank you guys for checking us out. I'm really concerned that couldn't find us last night. The recommendation wasn't out there. That does concern me a little bit. Hopefully that's not the case. We're flying, man. We're firing. We're going. We're rolling. Appreciate all you guys checking us out there. Old E likes Marlins team total over live going on my ticket. Skunt Blaster, the scumbag play of the day, likes the Wings plus 8.5. And he blessed our action with a $4.99 super sticker. Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate you. Skunt Blaster. Good luck with your action today. Good luck, Nutflush Allen. Thank you for sharing that tidbit with us. And appreciate all you guys rocking. There's Abel A. Says Sounders money line with over 2.5. Galaxy. Pachuca? Is that how you say it? Some soccer action? How about that? Shout out to Nicholas Handy, Tarek B, all you guys, man. Thank you guys all for checking us out tonight. Stop Geo, Big Fat Folly, Phil the Kill, Brian Palmer, Gorky rocking with us. There's A in the house. Guido. Appreciate you guys, man. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. Don't forget, around 10 p.m., we'll get first strike out there for you guys. Enjoy the evening. Good luck with your betting. And make sure you check out Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. The morning steam back, ready to attack. You know what he does. 7 days a week. Gives you the first look to try to beat the books out there in Las Vegas. 9 a.m. here at Sports Money. Good luck to everybody. Have a great evening.